The money.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome to Money on the Floor Nadex Trading. Right now I'm in the US dollar Swiss pair on a 5-minute chart. We just went up and hit the ADR high. It was running out of momentum. It got smaller on the US dollar, got weaker. So I'm looking for a pullback back to the 50. This is a 50 moving average. Now usually I like to take bounces off the 50. I take crosses off the 50 or I trade to the 50. So right now we're trading to the 50. And I went ahead and opened up my Nadex account and I put my trade in, which would be knockout. Come over here, pick what you want to sell. I like to get them where they're close to the middle. Put 4 contracts. So right now we have that going on. And as you can see, we're starting to pull back down. Now the main thing you have to know with this is where you get out. Where is your system wrong? Well, this is my ADR high. If we cross that, I want out because obviously we're going much higher. For it to go higher than the ADR, the normal, the average daily range, I don't know if I want to be in that trade. So, and actually, once we start going into profit, I'm going to have a mental stop of, let's see if my trend line works. The tops of these highs right here. So basically right now I'm thinking in my mind, if we cross this, I want out because we're probably going to go back up and retest, and I don't need to be in this trade. I'd rather get back in at the top and then wait for it to come back down. So it's always better to have a small loss than a big loss, and that's the only way you can prevent it. Even if it went up and touched and came back down, at least I didn't get into that big drawdown and have to worry about that. So just a way to, you got to think of it ahead of time so that when it happens, you're prepared. So right now we're going to wait and see what happens. It should come down into here, but there's no guarantees. The market does what the market's going to do, so you need to be prepared. Right now I got a trend line on here, which is also showing a triangle, which shows usually a triangle wants to finish it out to a box, which would be, looks like probably right down here. And we got yesterday's high, I believe. That's what this one here is. We'll see. I just want to get down into here, make some extra money for Friday, and call it done. Don't get greedy. Don't get caught up into it. Now, if we got momentum and it shows that the Swiss is getting stronger, dollar's getting weaker, I might let it run a little farther. Maybe see if we can come down here to yesterday's high. So you never know. See how things plan out. But you have to have a plan, and that's my plan. And these are 2 RSIs on here. This is an oscillator. I'm still waiting for the oscillator to go red. Normally I like to take trades when it crosses. See how we crossed the 50 moving average? Everything's green. That's a great buy trade. When do you get out? When they all turn red. And it really hasn't all turned red yet. It did start to, but because that means you're starting to cross back to 50. Now we went up and hit the 8-hour high, and we have another indicator that gives us a strong resistance right here. So I probably would have exited right there on that square, which is really a red arrow. They flip and flop, but it's fine. It's this arrow that's you see over here green. See, and if I was normally want to take the trade and I saw the green arrow, everything was green, I could take the trade right here, but I would have to know that if I cross these 2 lines, I am out. There's no waiting. There's no, oh, I got 4 more days. No, you cannot take a chance of this thing getting any larger than what it is. If it's not doing what you want it to do, you need to get out. And you see right here, it went up, it crossed, it came back down, it tried to make you have fear, tried to make you shake you out of the trade. But remember, you told yourself if it crossed these 2 lines, you're going to exit the trade. And there's only one other way you exit the trade is if everything turns red. Well, there is one more. If it crosses after you're into profit and it crosses the 50, you might want to think about getting out and keep your profit. But that's a personal, you have to have a number in your head. Usually I have a number of $100 I want to get to, and once I get to that, I see anything that shows, like if I was up into here maybe, and I saw it wanting to turn around, and I was already up into profit and I hit my number, $100, I'd probably close the trade. Wait for a better setup for later on. And then you also have to have a number when you stop trading for the day. So usually my number is about $300, $500. So if I can get three, $100 trades or $350 trades, I'm done. That simple. Let's see, right now we have everything red. Candles red. We got the red arrow. We got a lot of things in our favor, and that's what this chart does for you. That's why it's so important. We can see the dollars going down, the 5 minutes going down. We feel real comfortable about that. The Swiss is getting stronger. You can see all these things. It's playing out on the chart. The only thing I don't like is that we are a stronger number up top, but that's slowly going to change as this comes down. So as this happens, you need to bring your Nadex chart up so you can see it. I'm only into $20. I like to get more than that. Otherwise, it's really not worth trading. But we don't want to lose either. So that's why it's up here. And then to get out of the trade, let me pull it over here. All you do is the trade that you got into, you click on it. It'll give you the opposite trade to get out. Real simple. The hardest part is keeping control of your emotions. Sticking to your plan. And that's why you have to have one. That's why I have this system. Right now, the system's telling me to sell. And then once we cross the 50, if I decide to stay in, that is the trade I like. As it could actually bounce off the 50. And if it bounces and we start to get a green candle and we start to go green, now it's a buy trade. Then I have to examine it whether I close my trade and get back in. We never do anything on a rush. If you rush everything, you make bad decisions. And you'll find out. It's like a dog chasing a car. One day the dog will catch the car, and then he has a problem. So don't jump in anything too fast and chase fast moving candles. Usually when they're fast, they're wrong. It's just a known factor. It's something that comes with experience. Pull this out of the way again. So we can see our candles are red. We're starting to get a little pullback right here. And that's because we're hitting a little support. And also the 50 is going to be support. You got an area of support. It's not like one spot. It's never one spot. But the main thing is to go back here and look. We're 54 on the dollar, 46 on the Swiss. So we're coming closer together. We're close together here. Everything's looking good. Does it mean it's going to work? No. But I don't see any signs it's not going to work. That's the main thing. If all of a sudden I start seeing the Swiss getting smaller and smaller and the dollar getting bigger and bigger and I'm getting a green candle, we might be getting a bounce up higher off of this 50. And we got to be prepared for that. Now, if you go back into history, which is usually the best thing to do, you'll notice it reversed on the 50. It reversed on the 50 by the green candle. So most likely it's not going to reverse there. It's going to come down and touch it before it does that. So that's where you need to be prepared to either get out or stay in. And that's the hardest part. The hardest part is making the decision. Put this so we can see it, but we can still activate it. And you never know. It's Friday. Friday, weird things happen. And, the problem with these knockouts is they do give you 5 days, 4 days, 1 day. I mean, they give you plenty of time. Don't use that for an excuse to stay in. I've traded them before and done that. Big mistake. Did that on the euro US dollar. It never came down. I thought, oh, I got 4 more days. That thing's going to turn around. I'll let that run a little bit. Nah, bad mistake. Never do that. Nope, you need to know where your exit is right away. My exit is right there. And then when we get down to the 50, my exit will be if that candle turns green. If it turns green, I don't want to be in the trade. What for? It's telling me it's already got signs of turning around. But we got the Swiss still at 46, dollar at 57. We're still stronger the top, so you have to be careful about that. But we're still both red, 1 and 5. So everything down below is red. The candle's got movement. We're red. Nothing's telling me to get out yet. The only reason I tell you all this is I'm trying to tell you what I'm thinking so that you understand. When I see other people trade, sometimes they don't do that, and I can't tell what they're thinking. So, I mean, everybody trades different, and it's good to learn from other people to get other ideas, and that's the way to do it. I've been trading over 10 years, and I've probably traded under 20 different people, and I got something out of all of them. Some a lot more than others, but got something. Sometimes I learn not to do something. Maybe that's a good thing. So I'm just here talking about my experience and what got me to the point where I could be profitable. And this is the system I've come up with because I was making too many mistakes trading Nadex. Because when you trade Nadex, there is no trailing stop, there is no hard stop unless you put one in. You could put one in. You could put if we have a sell order here, we have to put a buy. We could put a buy right above here, so if it goes up there and hits it, we can do that. But the problem is when you go down and hit your take profit, you got to remember to go back up and take that trade out, because that'll be not a market, it'll be a limit. See how you got limit order here, a market. So it's pretty crazy. But it's very simple. It's no different than normal trading. I don't treat it any different, and that's what I learned. I had to treat it exactly like my normal trading. See, right now we're starting to get a pullback, so we need to check. We're 4.6, we're 6.0 over here, so the dollar's got a little bit stronger. We kind of know what's going on. We can see here that the high trend is a little bit stronger, but we're still all red at the bottom. The 1 minute's still red, so it still gives us confirmation to stay in. Now we're getting a green candle. This is where you have to make a decision. Do we get in or stay out? So the way I like to look at it, if we go to 0, maybe I'll exit, not take a chance. Or am I willing to take a loss today? You know, that's the thing you have to look at. But we do have our green line to see if we're going to get in or out. That's our maximum. That's where we have to get out at that point. Because this thing could be going back up to retest. See, we've already got green, indecision, green candle. We still got $8 profit. For me, it's better to get out. Goodbye. So at least I got my $8. I'm out. Let me get that out of the way. And it's best to do that because if it resets back up, I can get back in. There's no guarantee this was ever going to work. This could be a bounce right here. Now, it didn't get that close and bounce before, but it bounced here. We'll go back into history, and it's always good to analyze everything afterwards. So it didn't do it anywhere else, any bounces like that. This one here didn't touch either, but it's much closer. But, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. This trade could turn around. I can get back in. The main thing is we didn't lose anything. All right, guys, that's how you handle it. That's the best thing for me. We didn't take a big win, but we didn't have a big loss. And I think that is the most important thing. All right, thanks again. Bye-bye.